Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Nerd Mode. This being a show where I introduce you to a series that you may or may not be familiar with. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the Freeform original series, Marvel's Cloak and Dagger. Like always, this isn't a review, it's just me talking about a series that I really like and I recommend you check out for yourself. Marvel's Cloak and Dagger is an action sci-fi drama that follows the two main characters, Tyrone and Tandy, who are Cloak and Dagger respectively. When they were both younger, a single night changed their life forever. A set of circumstances happened that ended with them both losing someone very important to them. In Tandy's case, it was her dad, and in Tyrone's case, it was his brother. That very night brought them together, but it also gave them something else as well, and that is powers. To be fair, they don't find out about the power situation until years later when they find themselves in each other's lives again. Now with these abilities, they have to decide what they're going to use these abilities for, all while they're trying to balance some semblance of a normal life. Tandy's story focuses more on her learning more about her dad as well as Roxxon, the corporation he worked for, while Tyrone's story focuses on him trying to get justice for his brother. What's interesting is that even though they kind of have their own goals and everything, their lives are so intertwined. Everything related to Tandy's dad, to Ty's brother, to Roxxon, their abilities. Even Detective O'Reilly has her own part to play in all of this. Obviously, don't want to give too much away. All of this binding Ty and Tandy to each other. Just beyond all of that, it seems that these two have a greater destiny ahead of them. This is not all there is. There is a lot more to this, but I don't want to get too in depth, obviously, for spoiler reasons. Easily one of the strongest aspects of this series is the dynamic / relationship between Tandy and Ty. As I was discussing earlier, both of them being tied together by both tragedy and destiny, something that actually comes up within the series is that they are constantly being drawn together while also being torn apart. They are these very complicated characters that are, both very angry and very sad, just trying to figure their lives out. Realizing that the only people they can really confide in is each other because no one else is going to understand their pain like the other does, can share in that pain. It has this way of feeling like it's them against the world in many different regards. That in itself adds this very interesting and complicated aspect to their already complicated relationship. The series does a great job building up the characters of Tyrone and Tandy separately. Whether it's how each of them deals with their respective losses, as well as the complicated natures that they have with their respective family. In Tandy's case, her mom, and in Ty's case, his mom and dad. But the show also does a fantastic job when it's ultimately time to bring the two characters together. Kind of along the same lines, what's interesting is that these characters are kind of mirror images to each other. I guess a more apt description would be like they're two sides of the same coin. This is both reflected by their character, who they are as people, as well as their abilities. And speaking of abilities, I haven't actually talked about it yet, but it is quite interesting when you find out what it is that they actually can do. Tandy has this light that she can turn into daggers, while Ty has the ability to shroud himself in shadow and teleport. Which all of that on its own is pretty cool, but the fact is, as the series progresses, you get to learn that there's actually more to their abilities, that there's more that they're capable of. Obviously, I don't want to get too much into it for spoiler reasons. I think this show has a lot of depth and heart to it. I think it does a very good job of making you get invested into these characters, understanding what motivates them as they try to struggle through like the craziness that is their lives. Marvel's Cloak and Dagger is based on characters from Marvel Comics. Season 2 of Marvel's Cloak and Dagger premieres on April 4th. I should also note that it is a 2-hour premiere. But really, that's all I want to talk about in this video. To the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.